Are you a 9/11 truther? Or have you heard the term? The term refers to those who don't believe we have yet been told the truth about what happened on 9/11, that it was not just some Al-Qaeda terrorists. There were, if not some insiders helping out, perhaps it was totally an inside job perpetrated by the Bush government. Why? Well, because none of the science adds up, don't you know, for God's sake. That's kind of how the discussion begins to go. And so now we're being asked whether or not Elizabeth May, leader of the Green Party in Canada, is a 9/11 truther. JJ, how did this get started with Elizabeth May?
Well, it got started because yesterday Elizabeth May presented a petition to the floor of the House of Commons, which she read into the public record that was given to her, which says that Canada needs to launch an investigation into the quote-unquote official story of 9/11, that we need to re-examine the 9/11 Commission report. And, well, I mean, the report seems, or the petition seems to have already reached the conclusion, because it says that Canadians have a vested interest in investigating what they call state-sponsored terrorism, which seems to imply that, in the eyes of the petitioners at least, that 9/11 was in fact a state-sponsored event and was not a legitimate terrorist event started by Al-Qaeda, but rather something that the government of the United States perpetuated against itself for whatever reason. And Elizabeth May was given this petition. She read it on the floor of the House of Commons, and so legitimate questions are being asked about where her sympathies lie. I mean, she swears up and down that, you know, oh, I don't support this. I'm not a truther myself. You know, I just believe in accountability, and I believe in bringing petitions to the floor of the House of Commons. But at the same time, I mean, the Green Party has had a sort of long and complicated relationship with the truther community. So I don't think it's illegitimate for some of these questions to be raised.
All right. Well, you know, if it were the case that if somebody presents a petition to a member of Parliament, they have to read it out and have Parliament consider it, then she'd be off the hook. But that is not the case. And if it was, they'd have nothing to do but read out any number of increasingly ridiculous petitions people might put for them, if for no other reason, just to see them read it. In fact, these kinds of things have been brought to members before, and they've refused to present them.
Yes, yes. And I mean, it's very easy to imagine, say, if I had a petition that said, you know, global warming's a load of crock, that Elizabeth May would probably not be in any great rush to read that particular petition when it contradicts her worldview. I mean, Elizabeth May has also sort of cited this defense that, you know, there is a popular urban legend that every petition that is given to an MP has to be read, and Elizabeth May has conveniently said that that's what she was under the impression was the law in this country. But at the same time, it's just, again, like it's very easy to imagine scenarios in which she wouldn't read petitions. And so we have to say, like, even though she claims that she's not sympathetic, we do know that, frankly, there is a lot of support for trutherism within the base of the Green Party. And I'm not just speaking out of turn when I say that, because in my own province of British Columbia, there have been at least 2 Green Party candidates who have had to be purged from the party when it became revealed that they were, in fact, quite hardcore 9/11 truthers. There was another candidate in Ottawa that had to be purged for similar reasons. So 9/11 truthers are a part of the Green Party base. And it seems to me, you know, that Elizabeth May, in her own confused way, is perhaps sending a little sort of dog whistle signal that, you know, her party is still sympathetic in some sort of mild way to the party or to the constituency, or at least is not willing to dismiss them outright.
Well, I think even if she weren't trying, and we're not saying that she is, but even if she weren't trying, I think the Green Party might attract some of those people from the very standpoint that they are the fringe party, so to speak. They've got one elected person in Ottawa, and therefore you're going to, as a 9/11 truther, be made to feel by many others as a bit of an outsider because they don't want to hear your arguments, so they would feel perhaps that's where they would find a sympathetic ear.
Yes, and again, like that impression has now been reinforced by the fact that Elizabeth May and 9/11 truthers are in the same headline all across the nation. Now, the fact is the Green Party is dominated on its base by people that are profoundly alienated from sort of mainstream society. You know, they're alienated from mainstream politics, alienated from the mainstream media, increasingly alienated from mainstream medicine, which is a very interesting phenomenon in its own right, the degree to which Green Party people tend to believe in, you know, homeopathy and the idea that, you know, Wi-Fi gives you brain cancer and all these kind of crankish sort of theories. So yeah, I mean, the fact that they would also be drawn to 9/11 trutherism is completely, you know, completely understandable when you consider what the Green Party is all about, which is increasingly not about the environment, but just kind of the Elizabeth May personality cult and the party for profoundly alienated and hostile people.
Yeah, have you ever had a discussion with a hardcore 9/11 truther and tried to explain what you think is the real science behind 9/11?
Well, they're conspiracy theorists, right? So no evidence can ever persuade them. And in fact, the existence of contrary evidence just makes them believe what they already believe all the more harder. I mean, they're completely irrational.
I was having a discussion on the radio, and a gentleman called, and he brought up one of the conspiracy theories, and I said, you know, popular mechanics has done an incredible job, and I was going to say, of explaining every one of those theories and how they are misunderstood, etc. But I got this far, JJ. I said, you know, popular mechanics has done a pretty good job, and he screamed into the phone, popular mechanics are a bunch of liars. So
no, exactly, right? That's the thing, right? Anybody who provides contrary evidence is just in on the conspiracy. So it's impossible to debunk them. I mean, it's the classic thing. I mean, it's the same with like the people that believe the moon landing was faked, or various JFK conspiracy theories, or whatever else. Like, any contrary evidence just supports the conspiracy even further. It's insane.
Thanks very much. Have a good weekend.
You too, sir.
All right.